I know. Another tough Red Sox loss. But win or lose, we're here daily, Monday through Friday, with another episode of Red Sox Now presented by FanArch. I'm your host, Mike Antonellis. Thank you for watching. One of the broadcasters for the Woo Sox. They're in Iowa right now. Big Iowa State Fair going on. I don't travel with the team. I've made a couple road trips, but that'd be pretty cool to be there right now. It was not cool to be in Houston. We'll get that. Red Sox will finish the trip 2-4. We talked about 3-3, 2-4. You want to avoid the 1-5 or the 0-6, which they did. And if you don't think that's a big deal, if they had gotten swept on that trip, they would be on the outside looking in behind Cleveland right now. You need to smash that subscribe button, but don't literally smash it, because nowadays, if we tell you things, and you probably will take it literally, and I'll be in big trouble. So if you could subscribe. I'm not going through the spiel like we need to get more. Well, we do need to get more, but we are. And we're close to 1,500. And all your comments are fantastic. We'll get to those. If you're a first-time viewer, you see the things we'll talk about, and we'll get to your comments after. And I always tell people this: if you don't want the comment read on the episode, I don't know why you wouldn't, because you posted, everyone can see it. But no. See, if you don't want to be called out, it's not called out. If you just don't want me to address it, I won't. So, again, subscribe, comment, like the channel, all presented by FanArch. My socials are at the Radio Mike on X. You can subscribe to my YouTube page. You see me commenting. That's me commenting on all your comments. So you can hit the name and then subscribe to that. So, all right. I'm just trying to be optimistic? No, I'm just trying to be realistic that you need to turn the page. Again, as I've told many, doing what I've done for so many years, you kind of get that emotion removed and you're not as irrational. Red Sox fans who I've seen through social media, not really here, but they are really taking the losses hard. They take the wins, up here, but listen, you faced a good arm last night. That's where it all starts. Walker Buehler wasn't great. He almost got through that. Look at it. He gave up 2 runs in the first. And then, he almost got through that start with 6 innings of work and 2 runs. And then Diaz hit that home run. Did that come with 2 outs? It did. It came with 2 outs after a Victor Caratini walk. It's a frustrating inning because he struck out Christian Walker, but he almost got through that. So what do you think of the start? The walks, not great, 4. But I think Buehler has been a lot better. 56 of 96 for strikes, that's not great. But going back to where we were with him, it was kind of a mess. And I think his last, 3 or 4 starts have been a lot better. And the Red Sox actually have a pretty good record in some of his starts. But I think going forward, it's okay to question, will this be a guy they keep around? Yeah, let's go back to, he was 1-0 in July with a 3.57. That's pretty good. And, yeah, back-to-back starts, pretty good. I wouldn't say pretty good. Oh, the last night was okay. But not bad. If you do about 4 of the last 6, 5 of the last 7, okay. Better. But going forward, you want the walks to get cut down. You'll take the innings because he did save that bullpen. You only had to use 2 relievers. But, it just starts offensively. Hunter Brown did walk 3. You had some chances against Hunter Brown with guys on base. And he's good. And that bullpen's pretty good, too. That kid Sousa is really good, and Abreu is really good. That slider and that fastball combination. 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Houston was 1 for 2, right? They just won by hitting a couple home runs. And, they only had 4 hits all night. So, it starts there. Hunter Brown, I thought you had some good at-bats against him. I was actually surprised at some of the rallies, and but you just couldn't get through that big hit. Baseball's weird. One hit in that game would have changed everything, and it did for Houston. They hit that home run in the sixth. That's kind of a win that I feel like the Red Sox won games a lot like that during that win streak. They would just have a couple hits, especially at home. So tough night. Maybe we look at Buehler more as a 5 and May up as a 4, right? I kind of do. You'll take 6 innings from your 5. Maybe like that. See, it's just weird. That start against Hunter Brown doesn't work, but maybe against someone else it does. But definitely could be better, but not horrible. And hopefully steps in the right direction for Walker Buehler. 2 hits last night for Romy Gonzalez. Continues to play great first base. Abreu had a couple of hits. Wong seems like, he's starting to play more. His at-bats look better. Yoshida was 1 for 3. We were ready to junk this guy after 40 at-bats, which is ridiculous. All the stuff that I saw to get Yoshida. I've noticed what people are doing now. They're gravitating to one player. And I don't know why we're doing this. It was Hamilton, then it was Wong, it was Yoshida. Now it's Toro. We're gravitating to one player, and we're trying to make this perfect team. And there's no such thing. Baseball's a long game. Yoshida is very proven. 248 games before he played this year with really good numbers for his first 2 years in the big leagues. Low strikeouts, about a 285 average. Hit 15 homers his rookie years. I mean, he makes contact a lot. And after 40 at-bats, we were ready to get rid of him, which is ridiculous. I don't want my manager doing that. Then we should have done that with Roman Anthony. You got to be consistent. You can't be one way and then, not the other. But the Yoshida stuff's ridiculous. He's a veteran. He's a good guy to have off the bench. And now he's hitting 296 in August. But there's more trust there, and that's the way Alex Cora is going to play this coming down the stretch. This isn't time for tryouts, and that's going to be the next slide. Christian Campbell going back is a hard no for me, and it's very baffling why so many, and I get a lot of comments about it, want him back in the big leagues. And I'm confused. It really, and I'm not being sarcastic. Why can't Romy Gonzalez play first base? He played against the righty last night. He had 2 hits, including a hit off their closer. He made an unbelievable stretch, and Trevor Story again makes that play where he goes to his right, and he had to hurry and throw sidearm in the dirt, and Romy made an unbelievable pick. I don't think Christian Campbell makes that play. In fact, 80% of me doesn't think he's going to make that play. He is not ready to play first base in the big leagues. But we are so enamored by the statistics, which is baffling to me for this reason. For the last 2.5 weeks that Christian Campbell was in the big leagues, all I saw, and even on the comments that we got here, was that he needed to go back to AAA. This is a guy that had success in the big leagues in April, struggled in May. Did you not think he was going to have some success in AAA? If you play 2 months in the big leagues against arms that are like Hunter Brown, and then all of a sudden you go to AAA where the pitching's not good, we all thought, all of us broadcasters said he's going to hit like 350 here. You know how easier this is for him. So him having success should not shock any of you, but I don't know why you want him back up there when he's not a finished product defensively. In fact, he's not good defensively yet. It makes no sense to try to see if this works now when you have 40-something games left in the big leagues. If he makes one error, like it's different. The errors and the mistakes. Have you noticed the defense has completely changed? It's way better than the first 2 months because Alex Cora is not messing around anymore. First 2 months, you'll live with some things. But this is not the time to give guys chances and develop and say, let's see if this, call them up. I see this constantly. There's no correlation to playing well in AAA to the big leagues. then you ask, well, that's not fair. How do guys get chances? Because they don't always go by that. Roman Anthony, even if he was 0 for his last 15, they know that the guy dominated the level to the point of you got to get out of here. Christian Campbell has not dominated AAA. He struck out 46 times in 41 games. And his defense at first is rough, and that's where he's playing exclusively, and he's not great at second base. So I am just so confused on this. You guys didn't want him, and gals, didn't want him here. You're winning. You're one of the best teams in the American League. And then I get Toro's been struggling a bit. And just, what are you going to do? Just DFA him and put Christian Campbell and hope it works? And play 2 right-handed hitting first basemen? It doesn't make any sense in the world to do that. And if I'm, be critical, play Romy more. Well, if he plays every day, well, let's see. I mean, he's been pretty good over there. So it's a hard no for me, and Jostin Garcia is another hard no. I had 2 people ask me last night about him playing first base. He's not even played 1 inning there. I don't think we realize, these games in the big leagues right now are pretty serious. You make one mistake in a Garrett Crochet start, you mess the whole game up. You people will be going crazy. And I have no confidence in putting a guy back up in the big leagues who struggled mightily in May to play a new position where the speed of the game defensively is a whole lot faster than AAA. He's going to see balls to first base. This isn't, let's give the kid a try. This isn't high school or little league. This is the big leagues. And I cannot believe how much I see on this daily, because I follow the Woo Sox, and every time the Woo Sox tweet something, everybody is saying he should be up there over Toro. What are you basing it on? Because he's hitting 279 in AAA? No. Because trust me on this. You don't want to go back to bad defense. And Trevor Story and those guys and Bregman are not going to put up with a first baseman that can't, So, hard no. No one's going to change my mind on this. And that's not really a glaring problem for them. They're scoring enough runs. It's just been pitching at times. What did you expect Abraham Toro was just going to continue to hit 330? And I think people need to back off him. I mean, for crying out loud, the guy, that's not a position he is naturally gifted at, and he's done really good over there. And he was the guy when Bregman got hurt who pretty much stayed the course between Bregman and Toro, and he hit near 300 for a while when Bregman was hurt. So, and also, think about this, and we don't do this anymore for some reason, and we'll move on. I have one final thought. You're not thinking of him, and I'm thinking of Christian Campbell. He is a kid. We are so tied to these baseball savant pages and stats pages. He is a kid. And I don't know, I don't know him personally. He might have some doubts and reservations about being comfortable at first base. He already had a tough time up there. And you're going to say, oh, you know what? You're 23, And I don't want to hear that, well, he's got a lot of money. That doesn't mean that the pressure is different or you're not a human being. Oh, you know what? You're going back up there. You're playing first base every day in the middle of a pennant race, and you better be good at it. Because and I just think that would be a lot to put on him right now. So so obviously I made my case. I know I'll get brushed back, and that's fine. We will discuss. But I just, trust me on this. It would be, and I don't think it's going to happen. If it does happen, I'll wear the egg scrambled, which I think I'll have after this show. What do you think? All right, for the rest of August, I think if the Red Sox can go 10-6, I would take that. 76-62 going into the final month, which would put them 14-10 is 90 wins. That's the number we talked about a while ago. And you know what's crazy? With all of, when we start living in the Red Sox, and by the way, Milwaukee, 12 in a row. I think they're in the 20s in spending. They know how to make and construct teams. But with everything that's been going on, when we get into this and it's Red Sox Central, right? That's all we focus on. The Red Sox are still only 4.5 games out of being the top team in the American League. Like that's, when you take a step back from that, with all like the struggles they've had at times, and you're just losing 4 of 6, they are still one of the top teams in the American League. Still, and we're approaching the middle of August. So 10-6, what do you think? What are your expectations? I still think if they get to 90 wins and they don't make the playoffs, I can't be mad. Do we know what the Vegas odds for wins was? I'm Googling it right now. I don't know what they the beginning of the season. Do we know what the I think the Red Sox to win the World Series at the beginning of the season was plus 6,600. Wow. Milwaukee was plus 10,000. Milwaukee had worse odds than the Red Sox. Wow. Somebody, you're going to see a slip on social media that someone put some money on that. Wow. All right, let's get to your... I wish we had like an intro for this. Let's get to your amazing, unbelievable, 1,000% terrific comments from Wednesday. I love being called out at no name -NI1DY. I said velo yesterday. Oh, man. I despise that word. It's velocity. Next time I'll be fined. I'll cash app someone if I say velo. Not right now, but if I say velo in another video instead of velocity, I'm cash apping or Venmoing one of you. Thanks for calling me out. I deserve it. At Daniel Sloan, 9823, I said the same thing, all caps. We talked about Roman Anthony and Ted Williams. I saw him. I said the kid looks like Ted. There's something about it, right? The whole, like I said yesterday, he looks like the actor that's playing Ted Williams in a Ted Williams movie. Like if I had to cast an actor, I don't know what. There's something about the look. I think it's because he's so stoic and just. But again, his ability, and the guys were talking about on the radio last night, for his age and his ability to lay off pitches in the big leagues that are inches. See, that's another reason they knew he was ready too. His approach in AAA has not changed. But it does remind me when Bonds was doing this, when he would get one pitch to hit a game and hit it out. Like Roman Anthony barely swings at a bad pitch. I know he had a tough one last night. It's going to happen. He's still young. But just amazing. At Pasha 21K, I'm upset. Oh, we don't like this. That pitcher Hicks had the audacity to complain about Narvi and his calling pitches. So ultimately, complaining about Tech and Bailey, Hicks has some nerve considering he has been more than terrible. He's embarrassing. If I were Breslow, he'd be demoted. This is not much different than Rafi refusing DH than first base now, isn't it? Yes, it is. Pash, I'm here to calm you. I replied to you. I read the story you're talking. Read the story. I know. I don't know if you read it and still think that way. Narvi's not mad at him. It was, and he wasn't criticizing Narvaez. It was himself. He said, I have to take ownership of throwing his fastball more. That's his pitch. He's shaking. He's agreeing with it. He doesn't have to agree with it. I think he's saying, I got to be better and shake Narvi off. Maybe he just didn't feel right doing that. But I wouldn't take it. It's not the same. The Rafi thing is refusing to play a position. It's not the same. That'd be like Hicks saying, I don't want to be a setup guy. But I would not take it that way. And trust me, there's no way that Veritek wouldn't be mad and Bailey. They played. They totally get it. And Narvaez wouldn't be mad either. Okay. I'm sure they talked about that. But he just said, I got to take ownership more. Yeah. And he's not. So criticize him for that. But again, if he struggles more, I'm all for sending him back, like I told you. But I wouldn't take it that personal. So hopefully you're not mad. And hopefully you enjoyed the show. That's going to do it for another episode of Red Sox Now. If you could subscribe to the channel, it will make my Thursday fantastic. But it's already great because it's my mom's birthday today, August 14th. August I have, well, from July to August, it's my dad and I have the same birthday in July. I got my mom, my sister, my nephew, my sister, and my parents' anniversary. It's all these birthdays, anniversaries within 29 days. So if you have a birthday today, happy birthday. If you have an anniversary, happy birthday. Love all of you. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social at The Radio Mike. Another episode of Red Sox Now, and this Thursday is over. Go Red Sox. Have a great one, everyone.